Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by,
Thomas.
and we are watching the Silurians, episode 4. We've had a little break for a few days. We're
Doctor Who
coming
and the
back to
Silurians.
it. I stand corrected, Doctor, comma, who and the Silurians, because it's obviously a question. And yeah, I can't remember where we left off. Oh, we just had the reveal, hadn't we?
Yes. Yeah. Who and the Silurians? Yeah, this was a good cliffhanger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Face
And
reveal.
we were discussing the design of the Silurians as well, weren't we, before? There's
Yeah.
quite a divergence between their appearance here and in the modern era.
Hmm. I kind of like them both, but I think this is more authentically reptilian, isn't
Yes, I would agree.
Hello,
it?
Silurian.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice way of doing it. Yeah, that's the classic Doctor way, isn't it? Not immediately responding to aliens by trying to blow them up or something.
Yeah.
Offering a handshake.
Still standing guard.
Probably wouldn't work with a Dalek, would it?
I see. Well,
Plunger
as long
shake.
as he-
Contrast that with this scene.
Just let him walk away. He won't not. You were told to see that Major Baker remained in the sick bay.
The other thing his cape reminds me of is sort of a university gown.
When he's dead,
You know
Yeah,
what
he
I
does
mean?
have that, doesn't he? That kind of look.
Sort of an invigilator from the...
From the planet Gallifrey.
spoke to it.
Yes.
That reminds me of those footbars you have to walk through to get into old swimming pools.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
It's very odd.
You'd get a veruca. Bazooka that veruca. Bazooka that.
Look at that wart. The colours in this seem very sort of... I know, there's not a huge amount of contrast, is there? I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's I don't know whether that's to do with the quality of the print that they have existing, the colours sort of, I don't know, it's not hugely vibrant, is it?
No, it is. It is all quite muted, isn't it?
Or whether it was a choice, you know, stylistically.
To give it a kind of grungy feel.
Well, the Silurians are reptilian. You see, they've presumably created an environment inside.
I don't know if we mentioned this last time, but the Silurian design does remind me a little bit of the creature of the Black Lagoon.
I don't think you did, but no, that's a very good observation, actually, yeah.
With the kind of
Quins.
gill-like things sticking out of the face.
There's sort of like a slightly orangey red glow around some of the characters, isn't there? And again, I don't know whether that's like, look at Liz's hair around her face there. There's almost, I don't think it's lighting, and there's something about the colour of them, isn't there? There's like a pinky hue to them, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, and we sort of saw that a bit last time, didn't we? That there's kind of slight fringing. But yeah, there it's almost like their entire body is a slightly pinky hue. But when it catches in certain ways, it's really hard to explain, isn't it? But
Yeah,
it
and
must
I'd
have
be
been the
interested to
nature
know,
of
yeah, why it looks like that.
Oh, that's a cool shot, the rising camera.
Yeah, that is nice, isn't it?
This is good stuff, isn't it?
Use it as some kind of a watchtower.
That's their equivalent of our dogs.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Close down Sector 3. Sector 3, close
I think
down.
they did a lot of that with CSO, you know, like the chroma
Falling.
key stuff, but they later realised it would have been more effective and cheaper just to have a man in a suit.
Sometimes the old ways are the best ways.
Absolutely. See, even there's a lot of bleed of colour, isn't there? Look at the lights on his shoulder of his shirt. You can see the pink
Oh,
overlapping
yeah.
onto his shoulder.
There's a proper pink patch there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, this is absurd.
Someone in the comments will know.
Travis.
Yeah.
It gives the whole thing a slightly sort of
In the centre. He's on his way down.
it lacks crispness, doesn't it? It's sort of quite a blurry kind of looking image in some ways because I think there's so much bleed between the colours.
Yeah, it's a bit like the whole thing is a dream.
Report to a meeting in London.
Now, do you recognise this guy?
Any chance
He's been in a new Modern Who.
most of the night?
Oh, has he?
He did have a role in the Tennant era
Didn't the Brigadier put that in his report?
in a Christmas special.
Precise nature of the menace.
That's scarcely surprising.
Oh, he's not in Voyage of the Damned, is
We've
he?
had a number of technical.
He is. I'm not sure I could tell you the name actually, but
It's out of all proportion.
he is Voyage of the Damned. He's the captain of the Titanic,
Well, you don't know him as well as I do.
Yes.
who
Yes.
is actually doing it for like insurance, isn't he? Like,
What, that girl and
Yeah,
that crazy doctor?
I think that rings a bell. It's been a while since I've seen that episode, but
Maybe a little eccentric.
The man's
So-
yeah.
yeah, you might recognise him if I put that up there.
May I ask why not?
I can't go to the Ministry of Defence and request regular army support for you.
There we
This is a
go.
wild tale about monsters in caves.
Sir, we
Yeah,
have overwhelming evidence
completely
that there's
recognise
something
him
in those
now.
caves.
That's so
I don't
interesting.
know, but the-
Yes, I was quite sad to hear of
Look, Doctor, I'm not there.
Jeffrey Palmer's death actually, because I'd always enjoyed him in everything I'd seen him in. He was also in one of the James Bond films, I think, in the maybe late 90s. Maybe it was Tomorrow Never Dies or one of those ones. But he was in like a TV series, a BBC sitcom with Judi Dench for many, many years, which was, I thought it was brilliant. So,
Oh, nice. So he's a bit of an iconic figure.
yeah, he's one of those actors. I mean, I don't think lots of people would necessarily know him by name, but I think lots of people would recognise him, and he's sort of one of those British institutions in some ways, I think. But, yeah, so
sounds
Jeffrey
really
Palmer was also in, he was in Tomorrow Never Dies, he was also in Paddington,
We must destroy them before
and he was in Faulty Towers, Blackadder Goes Forth.
Wow.
Yeah, and he did die 2020, he passed away.
Gosh.
So, yeah, yes, of course, he's in the episode of Faulty Towers, The Kipper and the Corpse.
Got to get down to the
You know, have you seen much Faulty Towers?
If the Brigadier won't listen to reason,
This is another gap in my viewing.
Oh, Thomas.
Never
Goodness
seen
me. You've never seen Faulty Towers. Blimey.
I know.
People,
Shocking.
send help. For just £5 a month, you could help someone like Thomas to see classic British television.
humans are attacking your caves.
Do we need to react to that next?
I think we should. You would love it. You would love it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure I would.
I like how they open the gate with their little third eye.
Oh, wow.
See, why did they get rid of the old third eye in the modern era?
Money helps on the way. I only wish it weren't.
Yeah. That door was like the turnstiles you go through to get into Wembley
football game.
Stadium. Yeah.
People are coming here.
I like their voices
I
as
want you
well.
to meet them in peace.
Who are these people?
Well, they're soldiers, but they won't attack you unless you attack them first.
Why do you want to hurt
Yeah, it's quite
us?
a guttural voice, isn't it?
Because I want there to be peace between
Watery
you and the
almost
humans.
as well. I
This
like
is their
that.
planet now.
This planet is ours. It always has been.
Very good. Interesting, isn't it, to have a threat where you say they're not an alien invader, are they? They actually are from Earth.
We're lost.
We better go back.
The monster comes from below, not above.
Have you seen the humans yet? Have you spoken to them?
I have destroyed them, and now I shall destroy you.
So, what are we making of that?
Wow. Yeah, I think as you say that because I've seen the modern era, the twist. I kind of knew the twist of that. As you say, they're not alien invaders. They've kind of always been. They've been there before humans under the earth, and so I kind of knew that was coming. But I imagine that would have been quite a nice twist for people watching it for the first time, and just that sense of when they say, this planet is ours already, and you've kind of snatched it from us. and you could read it as an allegory for maybe indigenous peoples and their mistreatment throughout history and that kind of thing. So it's an interesting idea, isn't it? It's got a lot of scope, and just the whole aesthetic of being underground is well done.
And this brings you saying that brings me to my pet peeve of the modern era. So you're absolutely right. So when people say Doctor Who has always been political, it's always had agendas, and it's always kind of pushed ideas and the stuff like that. You go, yeah, this, and that's an example, like you've just said. You could read it in this way.
Yeah.
Let's just do this story again, but let's just play the end of the scene in the Chibnall era. Oh, okay, fam. You got to understand that really, like, this is like what you're doing with people. Your people are still doing this all over the world today, but you shouldn't do it. Actually, like, those people, it was land, it belonged to them. And, yeah, I'm telling you this almost directly to the camera, looking at you, so that you know and you don't miss the point, because the most important thing is that you get the message of the story. It's not about telling a good story. It's about me giving you a message, and my accent's changing as I go.
Went Liverpudlian at the end.
I know, it was all going over the shop, wasn't it?
That's a very interesting point.
We're not going to get like Jon Pertwee turning to the camera and saying, "Just so you know, Liz,"
yeah.
And I remember someone said in a comment once, I think it was someone commented on one of our videos, maybe it was to do with the Chibnall era. And they said it needs to be obvious, like the kind of turn to the camera type thing. Otherwise, people might not get it. And I thought that was a fascinating comment because, firstly, it suggests there's a certain arrogance amongst certain people who think, well, I'm the one who gets it, and there are stupid people who don't. But also, what it suggests is that, like, the most important thing about this TV show is that it pushes across a political message, not that it actually has a good story to it or anything like that. Like. And that was a fascinating insight into the way some people's minds work about this show. Like, basically, it should be here just to push a message on people, and some people are too stupid to realise. So you've got to make it clear. But this is a great story because, like you say, it touches on these kind of themes, but it doesn't shove it in your face and tell you this is what it's like. Here's some other examples in your life which you should be thinking about.
Yes, what you're saying reminds me of that C.S. Lewis quote when he said, "Obligation freezes feelings," which is quite interesting. That was in a different context, but this idea that the problem is it's not a problem for a story to have messages, to have a good, like, a moral, but when it insists on itself that much and it's so overt in its messaging, it actually takes you out of the moment sometimes. And weirdly, that means that the message is less impactful, because you just feel like you're being preached at rather than being caught up in a story. So that's really interesting, isn't it? As you say, the problem with the modern era in places is not that it has messages, but that it's so preachy in the way it does it. Yeah.
So I think this is what we'll see. I think that is the difference we'll see in the classic era. I mean, it's not even saying the modern era. It's not even in the modern era. It's not even in every story. There are stories in the modern era that make you think more deeply about things. I think it was particularly a characteristic of the Chibnall era, wasn't it, to be very in your face to the point that it felt like the stories were just there to preach a message rather than we've got a great story and it will make you think about these things as well. Don't be racist, and more importantly, don't be a space racist.
It's a spacist.
A spacist.
Yeah.
This is how annoyed I get about the Chibnall era when we're not even Chibnall era yet. Like,
I'm so excited for when we get to Orphan 95 or whatever. This is just going to be... I think that's going to be the most fun part of this experiment.
Oh man, dear me. Yeah, but anyway, it was a super long episode.
Yeah, yeah. So and it's interesting. You've been pointing out just the aesthetics of it and the pink hue. So it'd be interesting to hear if anyone has any insights about that. I'm guessing it's something to do with the. I mean, we wouldn't have noticed it in the black and white, would we?
The pink. No, probably not so much. No, the pink hue. Yeah, if you're joining us late, the pink hue refers to the lighting of the episode, as not a reference to Hugh Grant after he's been out in the sun.
Yeah, I went interrailing with a friend, and he got quite badly sunburnt, and he lifted up his shirt at the end of the day, and his back looked like a drumstick. It's like just a sharp line of bright pink above and then white below.
Wow, that is amazing. Oh dear.
And it was agony. Like it was really bad. Like to the point where if you patted him on the back, he'd be like, "Oh." And we were like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot about that." Like even wearing a rucksack afterwards. Oh, terrible.
Chafing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Let us know if you've ever experienced.
Been sunburned.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back soon.
See ya.